Hello, everyone. It's Pat with our Oracle card reading and messages for this upcoming week. Today's the 18th of February, and we're more than halfway through. And we also now have entered into the time of, we're going to be in Mercury retrograde for the next 3 weeks, like right through till the beginning of March. And actually, it kind of surprised me that we were in Mercury retrograde. Usually, I'm really kind of on top of these things, but for some reason, this month, I just spaced on it. And the funny thing was, I was last week I was going through some intense things, and I remember thinking at the time, "Gosh, this is almost like a Mercury retrograde," except that I didn't think that it was. And then I found out on Sunday that, oh yeah, that was when Mercury was actually transitioning into retrograde, and the week before was that pre-shadow period. And as I've mentioned in other videos when I've talked about Mercury retrograde, sometimes that shadow period, as it's slowing down and we're entering into the transition time when it transitions over to being in retrograde, it can be very intense. Mercury retrograde can be very intense as it goes into retrograde and as it comes out of retrograde. So anyways, that's what we have going on. And it's a time of where there's a lot of reflection going on. That prefix re becomes, a very good theme to think about during Mercury retrograde. It's a great time to reorganize. It's a great time to relax, to unwind. And I know this is school vacation week for a lot of people too. So for at least for the kids, the younger kids in school. So that energy, that prefix of reorganize, redecorate. You might even have some reunions going on with friends. I know I do at the end of this week that I'm really looking forward to. But Mercury retrograde can also be a very frustrating time, with electronics, having issues with electronics, things crashing. Anyways, so as usual, I'm going to pull on the Archangel cards, and I picked some cards for this week already. I felt guided to the goddesses when I was asking what card deck to work with today. The goddess Bridget came to mind because the beginning of February is the celebration of Imbolc, which is associated with Bridget, and it's the celebration of the return of the light. And for a lot of us who are in our wintertime, I know I look forward to this time because we start seeing the days get longer again. You walk out of work at 4 or 5 o'clock and it's still light out, and it's like, yay! So I felt guided to call upon those cards, as well as I was trying to connect with Archangel Gabriel this morning. And Gabriel is an archangel of artists, a patron of artists. And she's a very nurturing, very nudging kind of angel. She can be very motivating. And what's interesting is, after I had felt guided to those cards, and that, knowing that she's a patron of artists, I understand that our Mercury retrograde is, we're in Pisces now, and our Mercury retrograde is in Pisces. And Pisces can be, is a sign that's known to have some very talented artists in it. And so it'll be interesting to see the messages that come out with that. But for our archangel for this week, we had Sandalphon, who came out for us with this message of gentleness. He says, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So because Mercury retrograde energy can be kind of harsh or feel, kind of intense sometimes, he's urging us to be gentle with ourselves in all ways. So if you've started a new exercise program, or you're getting into something new that way with your body, you want to be gentle with your body. Be careful and not overdo it, because it could be potentially very easy to do that at this time. And be gentle with your heart, as it's that time where you might be remembering and reflecting upon, maybe past relationships, past experiences. It is a time of reflection where we tend to rethink things. And so his message is urging you to be gentle with yourself as you do that. Try to let go of shame and blame around certain things, whether it be a relationship or a life experience, and just be gentle with your heart. Be willing to forgive yourself and other people. And you can call upon Sandalphon to ask for his help to bring that gentleness into your life. You also may find that you just are not wanting to be around very harsh or environments where there's a lot of electronics or a lot of noise going on, or you might find yourself wanting to retreat a little bit and be away from those noisy, chaotic environments. That's part of the being gentle with yourself. And it's both you might feel that urge to do that this week, and it's a confirmation that, yeah, it's a good thing to do, to just remove yourself, carve out some quiet time outdoors for yourself this week. Let's see. He's got Sandalphon is very associated with music. And he's got this guitar or this like ukulele type thing that he's playing. So gentle music, whatever you consider that to be, whether it's classical music or whether it's just gentle meditative music, it might be helpful to have that kind of music playing in the background during your week. Or seek out music as that thing that is soothing to your soul this week. And Sandalphon's a great archangel to help you find that, because he is very much connected to music, gentle music. He also helps us to connect with music that's harmonic, that has that harmonic resonance to it, that you can use sound for healing. And so I feel like that might be a part of what he could help us with this week. So, all right, let's go to the goddess cards that I had pulled, and there was 3 that I picked out. So we have an energies coming up for this week. So we have this message of peace, okay? She says, there's no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. And in this image, there's kind of, everything's it's all encompassing. She's got a child here in her arms. She's got food, grapes and corn or something like that. And we also have the ocean and the dolphins in the background. So, I mean, we all have a lot of concerns right now about what's going on in the world, about what's going on in the governments, the politics, and the state of the world itself, the state of the earth. It's, for some people, it's driving us, it's nudging us to jump in and do what we can, because it is time for things to change. But this card reassures us, as it says, there's no need to worry, everything is working out beautifully. It's a reminder from the angels that throughout history, the thousands and millions of years of history, we've always gone through cycles of peace and revolution and, chaos. And we cycle back and forth between them, just like in that infinity symbol. We go from one extreme of chaos and disruption to another extreme of peace and prosperity and things working out well. So it's urging us and reminding us that they are looking out for us, and they can see the outcome of things, and they're letting us know that try not to worry so much, because things are going to work out. All right. So if you are personally troubled by something, or if you're just troubled by what's going on in the world, it's a reassurance card, and also a reminder to embrace peace. I wrote a blog on my website, relaxlifecoaching.com, about cultivating peace in difficult times, because peace, like anything else, has to be cultivated. It already exists within us. It is part of our natural birthright. But the more our attention is drawn to the things externally outside of us that are troubling us, we become more troubled. And it's important for us to retreat to that place within us, to that well of peace that's already there, and cultivate that. So anyways, messages of peace at the beginning of the week. And then we also did have the Mother Earth card come up, so environmental concerns may be in the forefront again. But it's also a message that you yourself may be called upon to help with environmentalism. If you've been thinking about that, you might want to jump on board with a group or something, either that's protesting something or that's helping to, clean up an area or what have you. She literally says you are being called to help with that So if you feel like you're being tapped in the shoulder or feeling like, hey, someone should be doing something about this, maybe you're the one who should get on board with that. And, maybe there's an article that you want to write or something that helps with environmentalism and taking care of the environment. I know I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook where people are very disturbed by not just, climate change, but some of the things that our political leaders are doing to our environment, or ways that they aren't caring for our environment. And so if you feel called to speak up in that way, this is a confirmation of that. Okay. But they're also, it's a reminder too that the earth is being looked after. There are powerful spiritual beings, a team of spiritual beings that are looking after the earth. Even, I want to say, you might think I'm crazy, but extraterrestrial. There are extraterrestrial energies and that look out for the earth. They don't want us to blow ourselves up. So anyways, the final message for this week is Cordelia with Get Outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air to renew your energies. And because the peace of the outdoor, I remember that poem, and I forget exactly who was written. It's called The Peace of Wild Things. It's about going out to sit by the lake and watching the birds and what have you, for that quietness that you can only get outdoors, that sense of peace. So, and that the kind that allows you to process your feelings and reinvigorate yourself. But for some of us, I know as I looked at this card, I was like, oh, it's about seeing the flowers again. I was reminded that here where I am in New England, we have the Boston Flower Show that comes up. And I always look forward to that coming in this late winter, early spring, because we're just so longing to see greenery and the flowers and the beautiful displays. So in some way, you're connecting with that part of nature, the beauty of the gardens, and things like that. All right, so now let's see what Gabriel has to say. Express your inner truth at the beginning of the week. It says your creative work shines brightest when it reflects your genuine feelings and thoughts. So it's just about being real with people, about being real with yourself. With Mercury retrograde, it might be that you're being called back to or have a renewed interest in a creative work that you've done before, or an instrument that you've played before, or maybe songs that you were writing before, or something like that. So, but it's a work that's creative for you, and you might be called back to it. But it's also, like I said, just a general card about it's just time to be real. Be real with what it is you're creating. And that's when it shines the brightest. Then we have share your art with the world. It's time to let other people see it. Get it out of hiding. In this Piscean energy, it's time to let your artistic creations come forward and share them with the world. And, don't just make that decision for people that it's, oh, no one's going to like that, or I don't know, it's going to feel weird to have my stuff out there. We all have those uncomfortable, vulnerable feelings, but don't make that decision for somebody. Put it out there and, let that decision be up to the person who views it. And you might be surprised because every single one of us, based on our life and our experiences, can find a tribe of people out there, especially with, the availability of social media. So anyways, for some of you who are painters, like what's in this picture, you might have the opportunity or be called to get your work into some galleries or some new galleries. So, or just have opportunities to expand the amount of people who are seeing your work. Okay. And so allow that to happen. And for some of you, I feel like you may be at a expo, sharing, maybe you might have a table at an expo where you're sharing your creative work, regardless of what that is. So, and then the last card for this week is this: open your heart to love. Actually, I think there was 2 that spilled out for the end of the week. Yeah, there was. It says, the more you open your heart and pour your love into your creations, the greater their life force energy. So whether you're creating, a written work or a painting or a website, as you put your love into it, you're putting your heart into it, and it's going to give it more life force. With the fact that it's real, you're allowing it to be out there. You're going to birth something new this week. It says new life, such as a baby, an idea, happy news, or an exciting project blossoms within and around you. I mean, this card does also herald for some people out there that either you're pregnant or you're going to be giving birth at the end of the week. But if you're not in that phase of your life, it just indicates that something new is blossoming out of your creations. So take heart in that. Open your heart to love. For some of you too, this is also about being open to a new relationship. In this card, if you look at the images a little bit more closely, both the angel and the individual in the picture, they have their kind of hands over, in a kind of almost like a very vulnerable place, and protecting that heart center and that whole front area, which is where we tend to do when we want to be protective and when we feel vulnerable. And they're letting you know that it's okay to open your heart to someone, maybe someone new in your life that is a potential romantic partner, or just a new friend that you have. It's safe to open your heart to that person and allow them in, is a message I get about that, because it's going to be the birth, perhaps, of a new lifelong friendship or a new lifelong partner, a new relationship, and that may bring a lot of happiness for you. So anyways, those are the messages that I get this week from these cards. I may be back on again very soon with updates on other monthly readings. But check out my website, relaxedlifecoaching.com. I'll put a link to it below if you're interested in any of the, because I'll be posting some more articles on there this week, as well as some information about Sandalphon. All right. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a lovely week, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care.